Hello, my name is Brooks Cutter. I'm a program manager with the Windows Media Group. Today I'm going to be talking about Windows Media technologies and providing an overview of the new streaming media product from Microsoft. I'd like to first start off and talk about what is streaming media. One of the things that's really changed over the past few years is the fact that many people are now going online and watching video and listening to audio using streaming technologies. Just a few years ago, people were very used to downloading a very long audio or video clip, perhaps taking as long as 20 minutes over a dial-up modem, and then playing it within 30 seconds. It wasn't a very compelling user experience. But streaming today delivers one of the greatest things, instant gratification. For the end user, this means when they click, the video starts playing right away. There's no waiting to download. Streaming media has also become very important to content producers because with streaming media, they control the content. Essentially, every time a user wants to play an audio or video clip, they will come to the particular site to actually stream it online. For the content producer, this gives them more control over the content because they can actually define who has access to the content and who does not. They can enable electronic commerce to charge for access to the audio and video. And they also have statistics. They can understand who is using their product or offering as well. Now, streaming media is more than just instant gratification and greater control. It's also about multimedia, the ability to integrate multiple data types into a single user presentation. So typically with a streaming audio or video clip, you may also see web pages synchronized with a particular topic or images that come up, or perhaps closed captioning text as well for hearing impaired users. And streaming is very important that you get access to it anywhere, anytime. So today you can access streaming content on PCs, handheld PCs, and very shortly web TV and Windows CE devices. Now, how are people using streaming media today? Well, there's actually quite a few different applications. For radio and music, we're seeing a lot of online radio stations streaming their content, so you can tune in via your radio or you can tune in via your PC. We're finding a lot of music videos going online as well, so people are actually making the music video you want to watch available when you want to watch it. And downloadable music has also become very popular, as people are purchasing songs online and playing them on their PC or on portable devices. In the news and entertainment space, we're finding stream media is a natural outgrowth of the existing broadcast facilities companies like CNN and MSNBC have today for streaming their news clips online. So you'll see that all the major news sites are supporting streaming today, and there's regular content available in the Windows Media format you can view every single day. Movie trailers are also very popular, so users can essentially view what's coming up at the movies before they go. Or in some cases, we're also seeing pay-per-view coming along, as electronic commerce is integrated with streaming, so you can actually purchase a movie perhaps online, or just view a particular live event or concert. Streaming has also become very important in the corporate space, where it's being used to enhance communications and reach out and get access to people that were normally very expensive to get together in a single location. For example, one of the most common uses of streaming media in the corporation is the executive presentation, and an executive addressing the entire company, talking about a key strategy or new initiative, or perhaps a new product or service offering. We're also finding though streaming is being used in different business units, as they're using this for collaboration, to record seminars, or maybe just doing distance learning with different types of courseware or training on new applications. And finally, streaming has a new area with grassroots broadcasting, as many sites are coming online that only do streaming. They don't broadcast across the airwaves, but they'll broadcast across the internet. That's just a few uses of digital media today. So what is the Windows Media product? Well, there's really two solutions that are provided. Windows Media effectively is Microsoft's audio-video solution for both streaming and offering downloadable music. Today we have a great streaming media solution that allows us to stream audio and video at all data rates, from modem users to broadband connections. We can distribute the content via unicast or multicast, so whatever the network connectivity the users may have, we can get the content to them. And if users are interested in digital music, we also offer a great download and play solution. Today we have a great new audio quality, audio compression, that provides the best audio quality in the industry. And we've also provided a digital rights management solution that prevents piracy and enables content providers to collect money for their intellectual property. Now, today I'm going to be talking about Windows Media Technologies, which is a term that describes a suite of client, tools, and services software, along with our third-party service providers and hosting providers. Windows Media Technologies provides everything you need to create, host, and play streaming content or download and play music. This Windows Media Technologies happens to have very tight integration with other Microsoft products. Windows Media, being part of the operating system, provides core streaming functionality for all applications. Particularly, this is leveraged with applications like Internet Explorer 5.0, Office 2000, Microsoft Site Server 3.0, and Windows 2000. And finally, this product is a free download off of Microsoft.com for users of Windows NT 4.0, and it's in the box for Windows 2000. There is no additional licensing fees involved on a per-user basis. Effectively, if you own Windows NT 4.0 server today, you can download a Windows Media Services server and start streaming right away. So when we talk about streaming media, there's really two aspects, both audio and video. First, I'd like to talk about some of our new audio compression that we've introduced with Windows Media 4.0. Microsoft has developed a brand new audio codec called Windows Media Audio, which provides the best audio quality in the industry. We've worked very hard on this new codec, and we spent about the past 2 years in conjunction with Microsoft Research developing this codec. This particular compression provides the best audio quality in the industry, providing FM quality audio at streaming speeds, so over a dial-up modem I can get FM quality radio or music, and if I'm downloading music, we actually provide a file that is equivalent to MP3 but 1/2 the file size. This means it takes half as long to download, it takes half as much disk space, and I can store twice as much on a portable device. The new codec as well is a very high performance codec. It means it encodes very quickly and it decodes quickly as well. So this means that you can actually encode your music twice as fast as MP3 and play it back on a much lower end system as well, not requiring nearly as much processing power. And today we have over 50 million Windows Media players in distribution, all of which will automatically upgrade themselves the first time they play a piece of content with this new Windows Media Audio codec. So you immediately have a large audience out there that is capable of playing your content. At this point in time, I'll take a moment and show you a demonstration of the new audio compression technology. I'd like to take a moment and demonstrate the new audio compression available with Windows Media Technologies 4.0. I'm going to play a couple clips, and for each clip I will play the same clip 3 times. First I will play the uncompressed raw file, then the same clip compressed with Reels G2 using all the defaults, and then Windows Media, so you can get a comparison of the different streaming media formats. First I'll play the raw file, as it comes off of a CD in uncompressed format. Now if we take that and we compress that with Reels G2 using all the defaults and compress it to 20 kilobits per second so a user on a 28.8 modem can listen to it, then they'll hear the following. And then if we take that exact same uncompressed file and convert it to Windows Media format at 20 kilobits per second, here's what it sounds like. So as you hear, the Windows Media audio content sounds much richer, much fuller, and not quite as flat as a real G2 content. This is because of the advances in the new audio compression that makes the audio sound better. Here's another set of clips that for classical music. Again, I'm going to play first the raw uncompressed as it came off of a CD, then compressed with G2, and finally with Windows Media. Here's first the raw uncompressed file. Next, we've taken this file and compressed it to 32 kilobits per second so a user on a 56K modem could stream it and listen to it. Here's what it sounds like compressed with Reels G2 compression. And finally, that same audio clip compressed with Windows Media Audio at 32K. So as you've heard yourself, Windows Media Audio delivers true FM quality at streaming modem speeds. So on a dial-up modem, I can listen to radio stations or other digital music with sound quality I've never been able to experience before, dialed up to the internet. Now, as we also increase the amount of bandwidth available for Windows Media, we found that it actually compares very favorably with MP3. In fact, MP3, which is widely used for downloadable music, actually takes twice the amount of bandwidth and twice the file size to deliver equivalent audio quality to Windows Media. I'm again going to play you 3 clips. First, the raw digital file as it comes off of an audio CD, then compressed with MP3 at 128K, what MP3 requires for CD quality sound, and then Windows Media at half the file size, which also delivers CD quality sound at half the file size and half the download time. First, here's the raw digital file.
Some people will rob their mother, old ends.
Next, MP3 at 128K.
Some people will rob their mother, old ends.
And finally, Windows Media at half the file size.
Some people will rob their mother, old ends. Rat snitch on one.
So if you've heard yourself, you really can't tell the difference between Windows Media and MP3, and we require significantly less disk space and time to download a file of this size. Now, if you'd like to try this out for yourself, you can visit our website at www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia, and there you'll find a section on Hearing is Believing. So on your own PC with your own speakers, you can do your own comparison yourself and see just how great we sound. You'll also find online a study from NSTL, a testing laboratory, which tested Windows Media compared to MP3 and found that over 70% of people prefer Windows Media content for their digital music. Now, the other aspect of streaming media is video compression. We also have, with Windows Media, a great video codec, MPEG-4, for compressing your video. With MPEG-4, we can stream video content as low as 20 kbits per second, so I can reach those modem users, or as high as 5 megabits per second, providing a near broadcast quality experience for users on a LAN, on DSL modems, or cable modems. At all data rates, we're capable of also achieving 30 frames per second. This means that your video looks very, very smooth, and it's just like a television experience. Now, with Windows Media 4.0 has also been some improvements in the video itself. We've improved the video quality dramatically at lower data rates with a new deep blocking filter, which removes much of the blockiness common in low-speed video. We've also achieved near broadcast quality video at the higher data rates, and this can be seen as low as 300 kilobits per second, providing a full-screen video experience that is comparable to the television. The codec that is used for compressing the video is MPEG-4. This is an open standards codec that's actually controlled by the ISO group, and Microsoft has been using this particular video codec for the past 3 generations of its streaming media product. One of the nice things about MPEG-4 is it doesn't require any hardware encoder or decoder support. So unlike other algorithms where I may have to purchase a encoder card for several $1,000s, with MPEG-4 I can use my existing PC. We've also optimized this codec for the MMX processor, so that means it runs better on a Pentium 2, and particularly better with a Pentium 3, where we take advantage of the new SIMD instruction set available on that chipset. New also in version 4 is the ability to do intelligent streaming. This means you can actually encode up to 6 bands of video or 6 different data rates into one ASF file, and automatically the client and server will negotiate the appropriate bandwidth. So this means you'll no longer have to put up a website and ask the user, are you connecting at 28 or 56K? Instead, they'll just click and they will get the best video quality available for their connection speed. At this point, I'll take a moment and show you a streaming video demonstration and some content encoded with MPEG-4. Next, I'd like to demonstrate the new video compression available with Windows Media Technologies 4.0. I'm first going to play you a clip and actually play it for you at 3 different data rates, 28, 56K, and 300K, so you can see the quality we can achieve at each of the data rates. This first clip at 28
market society
is, as you can see, it's what you would typically see with dial-up modem video. It's somewhat of a small window, but we have a very good frame rate and very smooth motion at this low data rate. So the video doesn't look jerky like you typically see with streaming media technologies. As we increase the amount of bandwidth available, and we increase to 56K, you can see the picture size increases, it gets a little bit clearer, and we still have a great frame rate, averaging about 15 frames per second at this data rate. And finally increasing it to 300 kilobits per second, this is where we start to see broadband coming into play, as the video looks very sharp, very clear, and we're getting to 30 frames per second video. Of course, we can also double this as well in size. And as you can see, the video looks great. We don't see pixelization or any degradation in the video at all, like you would normally see with other video compression technologies. So this is available today with our MPEG-4 video compression in Windows Media Technologies 4.0. So you've now seen the audio and video technology that we're able to deliver. How do you go about playing Windows Media content? Well, there's a couple different options. Microsoft provides a free Windows Media Player available for the Windows, Macintosh, and Unix platforms that is capable of playing audio and video content, whether it's off your local hard drive or streamed across the intranet or internet. This media player can be run in a standalone mode or embedded into a web page as well, using either Internet Explorer or Netscape Navigator. And today there are over 50 million media players that are deployed and in use. You'll find it also included in Internet Explorer 5.0, Office 2000, Windows 98 2nd Edition, and in the final release of Windows 2000 as well. But if you'd prefer to go and use another player, there's actually several choices available to you today. 2 of them are the most popular MP3 players today for playing audio. Winamp and Sonic both also support Windows Media Audio content as well. So if you prefer to download digital music, you can use these same players to play your Windows Media Audio content. And if you'd like to go and create some Windows Media Audio files from an audio CD, you can use Music Match Jukebox or Sonic Foundry's Siren to convert an audio CD into digital music. Now, the Windows Media Player is a great player that provides customization and extensibility for content providers. For example, in this slide, you'll see there's a number of areas that a content provider can customize the media player, including the title bar, the OEM animation, which is the swirling logo you see while it's buffering a clip. You can change the watermark, which is a graphic that is shown while the media player is loading some content, or an add banner bar, where perhaps I can put an advertisement into the clip itself, or perhaps I'll put a banner bar that says, click here for more information, or click here to order this product. And finally, there's also a display bar, which is visible if the media player is running in standalone mode, that includes more information on the clip, such as the title, the author, and the copyright. Now, if you'd like to distribute the Windows Media Player, you have a couple different choices. One, you can actually link directly to the Microsoft.com home site, the Windows Media web page, and download the Windows Media Player from there and allow your users to do the same. Another option is if you wish to customize the Windows Media Player, you can use our Custom Player Kit. This allows corporations to customize options like the proxy settings or the buffer time, or ICPs may want to customize the title bar or the actual logos that are used in the product itself to more brand it for their particular website. This is available for download off of www.microsoft.com/windows/mediaplayer/redist.asp. Another option available is to use the Internet Explorer Administration Kit to produce a customized version of Internet Explorer that includes the Windows Media Player. The IEAK, as it's called, allows you to walk through a wizard, select the options you want to include in the package and how you want to customize it or set particular defaults, and produce a package customized for your organization. If you'd like to distribute the Windows Media Player inside your organization, either using the Custom Player Kit or the IEAK, first visit the IEAK website to sign a license agreement, which allows you to redistribute the media player free of charge inside your organization, or externally, or with your products as well. Now, if you have applications that would like to make use of Windows Media Audio, one new SDK we've introduced has been the Windows Media Audio SDK. This is a very simple SDK that makes it very easy for you to add Windows Media Audio support to your application. Working with companies like Winamp and Sonic, in less than a day's time, they were able to add support for Windows Media Audio content to their app, and this is something you may wish to use to customize your own application, or perhaps build a new application that supports Windows Media Audio for both creating WMA files and playing them as well. Today you'll find there's quite a few different software packages supporting Windows Media Audio. Here in this slide you'll see a couple examples including Sonic, Winamp, and Music Match, with more URLs to each of the different products. We also have a comprehensive listing of all applications supporting Windows Media Audio on our website at www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia/software/jukeboxes. Now, if you're an audio professional, you may want to use Windows Media Audio in some of the high-end professional applications. Today, there are several available, with many more coming, including Sonic Foundry's CD Architect, a high-end application for encoding multiple CDs, Cakewalk Pro Audio, which is for editing audio and video content, and Mixman Studio for creating your own content in the Windows Media Audio format. So that's a bit about how to play content with the Windows Media applications. Now, how do you go about creating it? Well, there's a couple different tools to help you do so. The Windows Media Encoder is a great tool for actually capturing live events, or perhaps converting from an existing file into the ASF format, which is used for storing Windows Media content. The Windows Media On-Demand Producer is a great tool for doing offline editing. So perhaps if you want to capture your video first to AVI and then edit it and then actually produce it into the Windows Media format, the On-Demand Producer is a free application that allows you to do so, and it's available for download off of our website. You'll shortly see on our website as well the Windows Media Cleaner EZ, which is a light version of Terran Interactive's popular tool for editing all types of content and converting from formats like QuickTime to Windows Media. And you'll also see some very strong integration with our new PowerPoint 2000 product that makes it very easy for you to capture slides and synchronize them with the audio and the video of the presenter automatically. I'll give you a demonstration of that shortly. The Windows Media Author is another program that's available for creating slideshow content. And you'll also find all these tools include integral support for all our formats and all our codecs with multi-bitrate video. Now, some of the nice things about Windows Media is that you're not limited to just the tools that we provide. We also have great third-party support with products like Adobe Premiere and Sonic Foundry's SoundForge supporting Windows Media natively. So within these tools, you don't have to leave the tool to produce your content for Windows Media. Now, the Windows Media Encoder is probably the core engine for encoding live content. If you wish to do a live broadcast across a network, you will run the Windows Media Encoder to capture your audio-video data, to compress it in real time, and to stream it out to the network, probably up to a server and then from the server to additional users via unicast or multicast. The encoder itself is a very user-friendly application. Most users can get started in just a few minutes by walking through the wizards that are provided, answering a few simple questions, and starting to encode. You can also mix on-the-fly script commands or URLs that you want to appear for the audience in the Windows Media Encoder as well. And if you wish, you can also use this tool to convert from AVI, MP3, and WAV files into the ASF file format for Windows Media content. Now, if you're sizing an encoder and you need to figure out how big a machine you need, well, keep in mind the encoder is probably the most CPU-intensive application in Windows Media. This is because in real time it's capturing data and compressing it with audio and video compression codecs and streaming it out. As you increase the amount of bandwidth you're using, that also requires additional processing power. So for example, if I was to compress video at 20:8 or 56K, I could probably do that on a low-end Pentium 2 machine. But if I wanted to compress broadband video at say 500K to 1 megabit per second, I'll probably need a high-end Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 machine, and I may want to consider using a dual processor machine as well. As with any new machine purchases, particularly with the encoder, if you're buying something new, I would recommend you buy the fastest machine possible. You'll definitely use it long term. But just some quick specs as far as what we recommend on the encoder. Typically look at using 1 or 2 Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 processors. If you're doing a lot of offline encoding, the dual processor will double the speed of your encoding, so it'll really help. 64 to about 128 mega memory is more than sufficient. Just make sure you have enough memory so you're not paging to disk or you're not swapping out. So all the applications and the operating system can run resident in memory without having to use virtual memory. You probably want to make sure you have a fast network connection. This is particularly important if you're doing a live streaming because you want to make sure your data can get to the server fast enough. But if you're also doing offline production, you want to make sure you can copy those files up to the server quickly. Audio and video files tend to be pretty big, so a faster network connection will help you. When you're actually looking at putting hard disks into the system, if you're going to do a lot of capturing to offline ASF, or perhaps capture a live event and archive a copy of it, you may want to look at adding SCSI hard disks to your encoder system. The reason why is because IDE hard disks typically aren't fast enough at the higher data rates, and in fact the encoder may try and save data faster than your disk is capable of. And finally, how do you get access to that audio and video content? Well, you'll need a video capture card. Today Windows Media supports about a dozen different cards and they're listed on our website. But we tend to prefer the Osprey 100 card, which provides the best video quality of all the cards we've seen, and it's relatively inexpensive and less than $200 you can pick one up. For capturing sound, you should use the sound card that exists in your PC. Typically anything that is Sound Blaster 16 compatible is fine, although if you're again buying a new sound card, you may want to purchase the Sound Blaster Live card, which we've had excellent results with, or perhaps look at a multi-channel audio card, like the Antec Studio card or the Gadget Labs card for encoding multiple stereo signals simultaneously on a single PC. Finally, Windows Media Encoder will run on all 32-bit Windows operating systems. This means Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows NT 4.0, and of course Windows 2000. But we do recommend using Windows NT 4.0 or Windows 2000 as it is a much more stable and robust operating system and capable of taking advantage of multiple processors. Now, if you'd like to go and capture your video out to a file first and edit it, then you'll probably want to use the Windows Media On-Demand Producer, which is a very easy application which will walk you through a couple steps to clip, to put in audio and video fades, and then to produce it into ASF using some templates and wizards. It's very easy for you to update or perhaps clean up your video using this tool, adjusting the brightness or perhaps the audio levels as well. And you can also use this tool for batch encoding. So if you have multiple video files, you can use the on-demand producer to very quickly convert them to Windows Media. At this time, I'll give you a brief demonstration of the Windows Media On-Demand Producer. We're now going to take a moment and walk through the Windows Media On-Demand Producer, a useful tool for editing and converting your video format to Windows Media format. I'm first going to take a moment and load a AVI file into the Windows Media On-Demand Producer, and as you'll see here, it actually shows the video plus a storyboard of the video below. First, let me play this video so you can see and hear what it sounds like. Now you may have noticed underneath the video are two audio levels showing how strong the audio is. In the lower left-hand corner and the bottom of the screen, we have a storyboard showing all the images, and if I click and hold my mouse, I can drag it across the video and animate it. This is called scratching the video, and it helps me find the specific place I may want to edit. Now we found that most of our customers like to do some very simple things with the video. Typically, they will just go and cut their video, and I can do this by dragging this yellow triangle to specify where the video should start. If I also want to apply some additional special effects, I can use the red triangles
to drag a video fade, and using this I can specify where the fade begins and ends. So in this case you can see that I'm fading in from black into the video itself. I can also do this for the audio as well and fade in from silence into the audio track on the video. And of course I can also do this correspondingly for ending, both setting a point where the video should end, where it should fade out to black, and how it should fade out to silence. Next, I'd like to focus on the upper right-hand corner of the screen, where we have the General, the Summary, and the Process tabs. On the General tab, we have information about the video. In Summary, here is where I can type in the title, the author, the copyright, the description, and the ratings as well. And then finally, in the Process tab, this is how I can also clean up the video. For example, if the video is too dark, I can increase the brightness of the video, or I can make it darker here as well. Under Audio Processing, I can make it softer or louder if the original audio track is distorting or just can't be heard. So when I'm done encoding at this point, I'm going to select the right button in the upper right-hand corner, labeled Save as Windows Media, and this is going to pop up a wizard that will walk me through encoding the current clip. So in this case, I'll select Encode Current File, click Next. It'll present me with a list of templates for encoding my video into the Windows Media format. By pulling these down, I can see the different templates that are available. And for this demonstration, I'll encode this to 56K dial-up modem video. Clicking Next, it'll ask me which directory I want to save the videos out to. I'll specify C:\temp. Click Finish. And now you can see that it's encoding the video. On the left, I had the original video, and on the right was the encoded. When it's done, it asks me if I want to view the video that I've just encoded. I'll click Yes, and it'll launch the Windows Media Player for me to view the video. So that is the Windows Media On-Demand Producer, which is available for download off of our website, www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia.
Now, something new I'd like to talk about is Office 2000 and some of the great work we've done with the Office group to make presenting very easy with the Windows Media technologies. Speaking with many customers, we found that very commonly, particularly in the corporate space, people are using PowerPoint on a regular basis to communicate, and they would like to record these presentations or even broadcast them live. So new in Office 2000 is tight integration with Windows Media Technologies to help you capture the audio and the video of the presenter and to stream it out across the network, synchronize with the slides as well. Now, PowerPoint will essentially walk the presenter through a very easy-to-use wizard, ask them a couple common questions, and then set up the presentation for them. In fact, it'll even go so far as to configure your server automatically for you. So you don't need to set up your server for unicast or multicast. PowerPoint will do it for you. The audience, when they're viewing the presentation, they can interact with the presenter using electronic mail or chat, or you can also customize the user interface, perhaps branding it for your organization or adding additional functionality to what's provided in the box. And one key thing is only the presenter needs PowerPoint 2000. So if you haven't rolled out Office 2000 yet in your organization, this may be a good reason to pick up the first copy of it and start using it. The audience who's viewing the presentation only needs the Windows Media Player and a web browser like Internet Explorer 4.0 or 5.0. And you can find out more about this product today at the website www.microsoft.com/office. Now, the way a typical presentation would work is you would have a speaker standing at a podium or in front of an audience. You would actually point a video camera and a microphone at that presenter and connect those to the presenter's machine. Using PowerPoint 2000, as the presenter is speaking and talking to the slides, PowerPoint would automatically capture the audio and video and synchronize it with the slides and then stream it out to a Windows Media server. The Windows Media Server would then stream the content out to the users via unicast or multicast. In fact, if your network is multicast enabled, we will not only stream out the audio and video content, but even the slides as well. so truly only one copy of the data will go across your network. And finally, the end user will actually view the synchronized presentation in a web browser. They can interact with the presenter, they can view other slides and jump ahead or jump back, or they can tune in later and watch an archived version of the presentation as well. At this point, I'm going to take a moment and give you a demonstration of a previously recorded presentation with PowerPoint 2000.
For the next demonstration, I'd like to demonstrate a presentation that was recorded with PowerPoint 2000. Here is a presentation that was recorded with slides automatically synchronized with the speaker, and you'll also notice that we preserve transitions and animations, so as the speaker is talking, it reveals the bullet points one by one. Let's hear what the speaker has to say.
Hi, I'm Lyle Bolin, the president of Positively You, and we needed to find a solution to compete with the big guys when it comes to online bookstores. Office 2000 gives us that solution. Excel and Access allow us to get the information we need from our customers, but we also have to respond to our customers. Outlook lets us communicate with them in a timely fashion. All of this works well in Office 2000 because it saves time. It's easy to use and it's easy to learn. Once we've learned it though, we still have to get it to the web. How do we do that? Very easily. Any application in Office 2000 can go directly to our website. In a matter of seconds, we can respond to the competition and to our customer needs. That's what allows us to compete with the big guys.
So as you can see, PowerPoint 2000 produces a very rich, user-friendly presentation that synchronizes the audio and the video of the speaker with the slides and his points. If you'd like to find out more about this, check out Office 2000, which is available at www.microsoft.com/office.
So you've now seen how to play Windows Media content and how to create it. Now, how do you go about distributing content? Well, there's a couple different options you have. If you want to stream audio and video, then you can use the Windows Media Services, which is a free server on top of Windows NT 4.0 and in the box with Windows 2000. It's a very scalable, manageable, and industrial strength server with scalability up to 4,000 concurrently connected users. In the lab with testing tools, we've been able to simulate up to 4,000 users connected at one time to a server, streaming out 20 kilobits per second streams effectively to dial-up modem users. So this means that with a single Windows Media Server, you're able to stream upwards of 80 megabits per second data. You can actually scale it quite a bit to handle just about any size organization or any need on the internet. And the Windows Media Services as well has very tight integration with electronic commerce through pay-per-view or other business models to charge for access to your content. If instead you'd prefer to offer downloadable music, then you can use our Windows Media Audio file format and offer your songs for download off of a web server using Windows 2000 and IIS, or perhaps another web server that you may have available as well. And with either, you can use Windows Media Rights Manager or Digital Rights Management to protect your content and prevent people from using inappropriately or perhaps illegally if you're charging for access to your content. Now, if you are adding a Windows Media Server to your organization, what type of box, what size box do you need to purchase? Well, if you're only going to handle a couple dozen users or perhaps 100 or so concurrently connected, chances are you could probably load Windows Media on an existing box if you wish. It's not that CPU intensive, although it tends to be more I/O intensive. So it may be a good idea to load the Windows Media Services on a file server that does a lot of disk I/O. But if you want to go and support thousands of users concurrently connected, then you probably want to look at a dedicated box that is particularly high-end. Here is an example configuration of what we would recommend. Typically using one or two Pentium 2 or Pentium 3 processors. Dual processor is more than sufficient. You don't need a quad processor with Windows Media because it tends to go and be very I/O intensive, transferring data from the disk to the network very quickly. You want to make sure you have enough memory for handling all the TCP/IP connections. So you want about 256 to 512 megabytes of memory. You want a fast network connection, meaning either a 100 megabit fast Ethernet or perhaps even a gigabit Ethernet interface to make sure you have the bandwidth to transfer all the data users will request very quickly. And if you're doing on-demand content, it's important that you have very fast disks that are capable of transferring all the data requested from users to the network. What this typically means is using multiple high RPM disks with a high data transfer rate, striped in a hardware RAID 0 configuration, that is striped without parity. So by putting 5 or so disks together, you're able to actually read concurrently across multiple disks and result in a much higher data transfer rate, and as a result, be able to scale up and serve more users. Now, if you wish to administer a Windows Media Server, we actually use a web-based application that allows you to administer a local or remote server. And from the server administration, you'll find all the help you need and step-by-step instructions on how to configure the server for any need, whether it's unicast or multicast, live, or on demand. Now, if you wish to also analyze and understand how people are accessing your Windows Media Server, then you probably want to use some reporting tools on top of the log files. Windows Media uses a W3C compliant log file format, so it means that many popular tools are capable of parsing and generating statistics on the usage of your Windows Media Server. A couple of the tools that are available include MarketWave's hit list product and WebTrends log analysis, and also the site server usage analysis tool as well. And there's also some sample scripts included in the Windows Media SDK, which are available for download off of our website. Now, as you're getting ready to put a Windows Media Server into production, you may want to go in and test the server and figure out what the capacity and stability of the server is. To help you do this, we've actually produced a Windows Media Load Simulator tool, which allows you to simulate hundreds of users connecting to your server from a single PC. So if you want to simulate 1,000 users, the good news is you don't need 1,000 PCs to do it. With a handful of high-end systems, you can simulate the work of thousands of systems connecting at one time. The Windows Media Load Simulator also allows you to simulate many different ways users may connect. For example, some users, or most users, will probably just play the entire content all the way through, but others may play it for a few seconds and then stop. Still others may actually seek a lot in the content, or they may have problems playing the content. The Windows Media Load Simulator has different profiles to help you test all these different ways users may access your server. And this is available today for download off of our website at microsoft.com/windowsmedia. I'll now take a moment and give you a brief demonstration of the Windows Media Load Simulator and how it works.
I'd now like to walk you through the Windows Media Load Simulator, a tool for stress testing your servers and determining the capacity and reliability of those servers, and also a useful diagnostic tool as well for detecting any common server problems. Now, when I first download and install the Windows Media Load Simulator from the microsoft.com/windowsmedia website and install it, the first time I run it, it's going to launch a wizard and walk me through the steps to configure the product. In the first screen, it's going to ask me to enter the name, the host name or DNS name of a Windows Media Server. In this case, I have another machine available on the network called BrookC2K, which I'll type into the server name dialog here, and then click Next. It'll then ask me for the name of the stream. I'll type in welcome1.asf, the name of a file I happen to know exists in that server. Click Add, and it's now added to the playlist listing the content that's available to test. Normally on a stress test, I'd probably add dozens or hundreds of different clips into here, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll just add this single clip. When I'm ready, I'll click Next to go on to the next screen. Here in this section, I can go and specify client profiles or describe the different ways users may connect to my server, and I can also simulate tens or even hundreds of users using a single client PC. So in this case, I would actually type in the number of clients that I want to simulate at one time, specifying, for example, 1 for browse or 3 for play. But again, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it to simulating one user with this particular client. If I want to also control how quickly those users can connect to my server, I can specify a max connected rate, which throttles or controls how fast these users will connect to the server itself. I'll deselect this and click Next to move on to the next screen. If I wish to test server authentication and I'm going to have content on my server that is protected, then I can select this box and simulate users that are authenticating to the server and streaming content. So end to end, I can figure out the scalability, not just of the Windows Media Server, but also NT server talking to a Active Directory server or a domain controller as well. In this case, I won't test authentication and click Next to move on. On the step 5 is to specify the duration or how long I want the test to run. For example, I can tell it to run indefinitely, that is until I hit the stop button, or I can let it run for a certain amount of time, a certain interval, and I can specify the hours, minutes, and seconds it'll run. And alternatively, I can also tell it to stop after so many errors. So if it finds that it's having problems connecting to a server, it may just stop rather than testing continuously. For the purpose of this test, I'll go ahead and select indefinite. Clicking Next. Now in step 6, I'm able to specify the log files that I want to use. There are two types of log files, a regular logging capability, which allows me to log any problems that may exist on the server, and also I can watch common performance monitor counters as well, and generate warnings about any typical problems that may be coming up. By default, it'll write these log files out to the directory where I've installed the Windows Media Load Simulator, and automatically create them as a CSV file, which I can then parse with Microsoft Excel and analyze, or I could also parse with some other program as well, such as maybe a script that I may use to analyze the results. For this demonstration, I'll disable the logging in the tool, and click Next. I'm now finished with the wizard, and I've now configured the tool, and it's ready to run. Clicking Finish will create the configuration, and all I need to do to start the test is just hit the Start button in the upper left-hand corner. You'll notice when I start testing, I have over in the General Information window this icon which turns green. This lets me know the test is now running, and if I have a series of machines running in a lab, I can very quickly and visually determine whether the test is active or not. Down below, under the Test Transactions window, I can see detailed information that will also be put out to the log file, indicating any problems that may be coming up, or in this case, just saying that the test is started up with no problems at all. Finally, over in the lower left-hand corner, we have the statistics window showing how many users are currently connected, how many users the tool is simulating, the total bandwidth that's being used, and the total amount of bytes received, and packets lost during the transmission itself. So this is the Windows Media Load Simulator. This is available for free download today from www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia.
Now, if you'd like to integrate electronic commerce with your Windows Media Services or streaming media, we have a variety of solutions available for you. Today, we have very strong integration with Site Server, so you can use membership services to manage user IDs and passwords on the internet. And using Site Server Commerce, you can manage all the details of the transaction as far as validating a credit card and actually tracking who purchased what. We also offer a pay-per-view solution, which makes it very easy for you to build an electronic commerce-enabled streaming media site, and it'll walk you through all the steps required to get online in no time at all. And finally, if you're offering content for download, keep in mind the digital rights management solution offers the ability to protect your content and keep users from using it inappropriately. At this point, I'll take a brief moment and demonstrate our pay-per-view solution with an example customer, the WWF.
Now, if you'd like to use electronic commerce with Windows Media, we've developed a great pay-per-view solution that makes it very easy for you to build an e-commerce site in a very short period of time using Site Server 3.0. One customer that has done this has been the WWF, that actually broadcast their wrestling matches on a regular basis over the internet, and users can come in and pay a modest fee to actually view their content. Here's an example of their website where I may go to their webpage and choose to order and log in for the event. It'll ask me which event do I want to watch. I'll select the Royal Rumble for $5.95 and click Next. It'll ask me for my name and credit card number, which I'll fill in here. And then when I click Purchase, I can tune in and watch the wrestling match.
Now, I've mentioned the Windows Media Rights Manager and Digital Rights Management a couple times. What is it? Well, it allows copyright owners or producers to protect their content by encrypting it. The first time users play the content, they need to acquire a license, and by controlling access to who you give licenses to, you can define who has access to view your content. Content itself can be emailed to friends, but I can't transfer the license. So for example, if I was to go to a website and purchase a song like the new Tori Amos clip we have available for download, and I paid for that clip, I would actually receive the encrypted content and an associated license as well. And while I could mail that Tori Amos song to another person, I could not email them the license. They would also need to go to the website and purchase a license in order to play it. So what Windows Media Rights Manager does is it enables the artists, publishers, and distributors to collect information or money before you're able to access the content. In some cases, they may just want to collect some information about their users, like email address or age or gender, or in other cases, they may want to charge for access to the content as well. Today, you'll find a wide range of sites offering content protected with Windows Media Rights Manager today, and implementing different business models from just collecting information to charging money for their content. And this technology is designed to vastly reduce the amount of piracy that is occurring today in the industry with MP3 and other digital music formats. We've also incorporated the Windows Media Rights Management capabilities into both the Windows Media Player, and through the Windows Media Audio SDK, you'll find that both Winamp, Sonic, Music Match, and Sonic Foundry's Siren all support content protected with Windows Media Rights Manager. Now, the way the Rights Manager tool would work is if you want to actually provide content as a content producer, you would take your digital content, like an audio or video clip, you would submit it to a packager tool, which is included as part of the Rights Manager, and this would encrypt the content and store in the database the information needed to grant licenses. The packager tool would output packaged content, which is now safe for you to distribute. So I can put this up on a web server and offer it for download, or I can put it on a Windows Media server and offer it for streaming as well. And the first time a user accesses the content with the Windows Media Player, Winamp, Sonic, or other products that support DRM, then they will check to see if they have a valid license on their machine, and if they do not, it will launch the default web browser to a web page, to a URL specified in the content itself. Now, that web page will go to the content producer's website, where they may ask you to fill in a form or provide your credit card to get the access to the license. Once a user has provided what's required to get the license, the content producer will generate a license that is unique to that particular machine, that is non-transferable, and also define the rights the user has as well, such as whether the user has the ability to play the content on a PC, or transfer it to a portable device, or perhaps burn it to a Redbook audio CD as well for listening in a home stereo. But once that license is installed on the user's machine, they're then able to play the content as often as they want without having a connection to the internet. At this point, I'll take a moment and give you a demonstration of the Windows Media Rights Management and digitally protected content.
For my next demonstration, I'm going to show how Microsoft's digital rights management software works to protect Windows Media audio content. Today, if you went out to our website at windowsmedia.com, you'd probably find one of our partners, launch.com, offering hundreds of downloadable songs in the Windows Media audio format with digital rights protection. Here's a sample web page that I might find off of their website showing different artists and songs available for both preview with streaming capability and download so I can listen to them offline or transfer to a portable device. So when I first visit their webpage, I'll see a couple different artists, and I'll focus on this featured artist, Willie Nelson, and the Rainy Day Blues. Now, before I take the time to download the file, which may take a little while over a dial-up modem, I'm first going to click Preview and listen to what it sounds like at FM quality, and then decide if I want to take the time to download it. So let's first preview this clip.
Well, it's cloudy in the morning, gonna be raining in the afternoon. I said it's cloudy in the morning.
So I've decided I like that music, and I'm going to go ahead and download it and register so I can unlock the content and play it. So I click Download, and first the file is transferred to my local hard disk. The Windows Media Player recognizes that I don't have a valid license for this content, so it opens up a web browser and takes me to the web page specified as part of the clip. Here, I'll go to Launch.com's website, and in this case, Launch just asked me to basically log in and register with them before they give me the license so I can play the content. So I'll go ahead and type in my email address, specify my age and gender, and then click Submit. And at this point, it's going to download the license to my machine, a license that is unique to my specific machine, install it, and then allow me to listen to the content.
Well, it's cloudy in the morning, gonna be raining in the afternoon. I said it's cloudy in the morning, and it's gonna be.
So that's Microsoft's digital rights management solution. If you'd like to try this out for yourself, visit our portal website, which lists many different songs available for download at www.windowsmedia.com.
Now, part of the strategy of Windows Media has been to leverage all of the capabilities of the web browser and other applications, and we've done this very well through synchronized multimedia, the ability to synchronize your audio-video content with content that exists in the web page. To make this much easier, we've introduced recently with Internet Explorer 5.0 some new technology called HTML plus time that makes it very easy through XML extensions to HTML to specify time on your web page itself. So I can actually create a web page that adapts on the fly to what's being seen in the Windows Media Player, and perhaps as a speaker is talking about a particular topic, the web page can change and update based on the HTML plus time coding. This is available today with Internet Explorer 5.0, and there's also a new tool called VCON that is available to help you create these pages and edit pages with HTML plus time content. I'm now going to take a moment and give you a demonstration of some HTML plus time web pages.
Some of the new capabilities available with HTML plus time make it very easy for you to create compelling multimedia demonstrations that synchronizes web content with Windows Media content as well. Here's an example of a simple banner ad like you might see on a dozen different websites, but this is unique because it synchronizes web content with streaming audio in the background. Let's take a moment and listen to this Age of Empires advertisement.
Microsoft, ready to play. From the co-designer of the hit title Civilization comes Age of Empires. From the Stone Age to the Iron Age, experience 10,000 years of amazing discoveries as you build your tribe into a great civilization. Will you explore new lands, amass great riches, or conquer all in your path?
So as you can see with the HTML plus time banner, we can synchronize text with the audio and provide a much more compelling advertisement or demonstration than we otherwise could without HTML plus time. Another example using HTML plus time is this Clinton press conference, where we've taken what President Clinton is saying and synchronized it with additional text to highlight his points.
The bottom line is that the American people very much want Russia to succeed. We value your friendship. We honor your struggle. We want to offer support as long as you take the steps needed for stability and progress. We will benefit greatly if you strengthen your democracy and increase your prosperity. Look what our partnership.
Finally, just because you're embedding the Windows Media Player into a web page doesn't mean it needs to be a square box. Here we have an example of the Media Player embedded and highlighting a web page, and instead we have a circular Windows Media Player.
Come through the brand new chats, picking up all the nitrogen lads. Spread out yourself. I will up on the feet. You don't know pretty soon we have to reach Zion Gate. Hear this.
So this is all available today as part of Internet Explorer 5.0, Windows Media, and HTML plus time, which is available off of our website. Visit www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia for more information.
Now, if you're a corporation, you're probably interested in using Windows Media for distance learning, but you may not be sure where to start. Well, the good news is Microsoft has worked with Compaq to produce a turnkey training server to help you get up and running right away. Today, with the Windows Media Training Server is available for purchase from Compaq resellers, and it includes all the hardware and software you need to stream Windows Media content, along with 100 hours of product training. So by purchasing this server, you will get access to 30 seminars on Windows 2000, seminars on Windows Media Technologies, on Back Office, on Office 2000, and many other Microsoft products as well. All this content plays in any web browser, Netscape or IE, with the Windows Media Player installed. And for more information, you can go to our website at microsoft.com/windows/tools/train-serv.asp. Also, if you're getting up to speed with Windows Media Technologies, you may want to look at our Jumpstart CD, which is an application that walks you through the new features in Windows Media Technologies 4.0 and also includes the software, white papers, and other best practices as well, all on one CD, along with a number of compelling demos, many of which I showed here today. You can order this online from Microsoft.com at www.microsoft.com/windows-media/download/jumpstartcd.asp. I'm now going to take a moment and give you a demonstration of the Windows Media Jumpstart CD.
If you'd like to learn more about Windows Media, perhaps one of the best resources available is the Windows Media Jumpstart CD, which contains everything you need to get started. This includes a number of demonstrations showing off how the technology can be used, feature drill downs talking about each of the individual features and what they mean, all the software on one CD for you to install, information also on how to create content, how to deploy Windows Media, and how we compare against different products. Probably one of the best demonstrations that'll walk you step by step through the new Windows Media Technologies 4.0 is this welcome demonstration. Here we've actually worked with Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac to demonstrate and talk about our new product. We'll take a moment and actually listen to what this sounds like.
Hello there, I'm Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. I'm here to introduce you to Windows Media Technologies version 4.0, a new way people are going to enjoy music, video and other types of digital media over the internet. It includes tools that make it easier than ever to author content, a server for delivering streamed content on computer networks, and the Windows Media Player, which allows users to enjoy a rich multimedia experience on their computers.
So this demonstration will go into more detail on audio and video compression, how you can create content with the on-demand producer or PowerPoint 2000, and how you can also distribute content, for example, like pay-per-view. And if you want to enable electronic commerce, then we'll show off how WWF, one of our close partners, has used our technology to sell audio and video content on the internet.
How would you like to put...
This is all available for order online on the Microsoft.com website. Just visit our website at www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia to order your Jumpstart CD today.
So that's my presentation for today on Windows Media. Just like to summarize some of the key points. As you've already seen, Windows Media provides the best end user experience with the best audio and video quality available in the industry. There are multiple players available to play your content, whether it's the Windows Media Player or Winamp or Sonic or other WMA-capable players. It's very easy to create content for Windows Media using the variety of comprehensive tools available from Microsoft that are available for free download off of our website. Or there's also a wide variety of third-party tools with leading products like Adobe Premiere and Sonic Foundry's SoundForge supporting the Windows Media Technologies. For distributing content, you have a choice of different servers. You can stream your content, or you can offer it for download in a digital music type format, and you can protect your content using either our digital rights management solution or electronic commerce with pay-per-view integration with our pay-per-view wizard. If you'd like to get access to the software, today you'll find it on our website at www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia, or it is in the box with Windows 2000. So if you open the optional component manager in Windows 2000, you can install the Windows Media Services. And Windows Media Player is installed on all Windows 2000 machines, professional and server. If you're interested in finding out more about digital music in Windows Media, you'll find a list of third-party players and jukeboxes and other software at www.microsoft.com/windowsmedia/software. And to look at all the great content available, both for downloadable music and also video clips as well, check out our content guide at www.windowsmedia.com. Thank you.